Alright everybody, welcome back to another video of Printed Performance. I'm Chris and Mike here.
How's it going?
And so, we got my car in the garage. Our time, we just ended the last video and pulled this car in. But, you know, we still want to keep working and I just didn't want to continue the video that way. So I just thought I'd stop it and continue on. But, got my car in here. And like I said before, we have a lot of stuff to do to this guy. We have to pull the heads off, pull the heads apart, get them all good to go. I got new head gaskets, new fuel lines. In fact,
new valves.
Here it is all right here. So I got new fuel lines. These are PTFE fuel lines, so it's plastic on the inside, so it won't get destroyed by the E85 or methanol or whatever you want to put to it.
You know what we're doing.
Yeah. I got some Dash 10 and I also got a Dash 6 kit because I got to split it off right here from this Dash 10 to the Dash 6. Plus I also got the Y fittings. Also something Brent at PFI complained about was my deadhead fuel system. He didn't like it very much. It made the fuel kind of funny to work with.
We're not saying nothing against you, Brent. We're just...
No, absolutely not.
Gave us a better idea.
He is correct.
Yeah,
100%. I just had to do it the way I did it because I had limited space available at the time and I didn't really know how to do it. So right now, my fuel system, it actually goes from the pump to the fuel pressure regulator first, and then it splits off with the return going to the tank, and then the fuel feed at pressure going to the fuel rails after that Y right there. That's called a deadhead fuel system. However, a flow-through fuel system is far superior, and that's actually what Hondas have stock. It's not actually what the J-Series had stock, at least not on this engine. But on a flow-through system, how you would run it is you'd run it from the pump all the way to the fuel rails, and then you'd loop from the fuel rails back to the fuel pressure regulator. And a lot more consistent fueling, it's a lot easier to control, and you get more consistent pressures. So I went ahead and got some fuel rails from P2R, and I got these fittings on the end here. And what I'm going to do is we are going to have this fuel rail like here-ish, and it's going to flow into that side right here, and then it's going to go to this fitting right here and loop around and then go back to the fuel pressure regulator. And that's mainly because I don't have a lot of area on this side, or actually even underneath in the plenums, to run the fuel pressure regulator on this side and then go back to the tank.
Yeah, we got more room.
So we're just going to loop it all back to this side where we have room, and then hopefully we can get that done. But also, we got more goodies. We got new valves. These are Ferrera 6000 35 millimeter intake valves. Oh yeah, those are going to be some nasty boys. But, and then I also got the exhaust valves to match it. Some head gaskets from Cometic. Also on top of that, I got me an oil catch can. Pretty much the exact same one Mike has for his Civic. Might be wondering, where the heck am I going to put an oil catch can? Because my oil catch can currently is this little dinky guy right here.
After all those dyno pulls and drives, it is still dry.
Yes, it's still doing good. But I might not be getting good breathing out of my crankcase without average guy.
And the main thing, tell them what the main thing is. Where is the placement?
Yeah, it's not a good idea. It's like, I put that right there just because it was literally the only place I had available at the time. But that's not a good place to have that. It's really unsafe, and the tech guys at the track don't even like that very much, just because it is actually in front of the steering axle, or the front axles. And what that does is, if something happens to your engine, or like you blow a ring or crack a piston in half, like I have done actually before, it'll dump a lot of oil into there, and that oil will come out the filter, and it'll just go right over all your wheels, and then you won't be able to steer, stop, all kinds of other stuff. Not a good time when you're going really fast. So what I'm actually going to do, I got these special bulkhead fittings right here, -10s, that we're going to put probably right around here. I'm hoping somewhere close to this. And then I'm actually putting my oil catch can inside the car here. And what I'm going to do, or I'm planning on doing at least, hoping, I'm going to run those lines into the car through the firewall, through these bulkhead fittings here, into the oil catch can, and then one of these two, I'm not sure which one yet, I'm going to weld off and just cap, and the other one, we're going to run a giant hose from this all the way up the roll cage and out the back of the car. And it's actually what a lot of pro guys do, just for, you know, more ventilation, because having it on the back of the car right there actually helps a whole lot, because you actually get a little bit of a suction on it when you're going really fast, which helps out a whole lot with crankcase pressures. But I'm not doing it for that reason, but I'm only doing it for just because I don't have any room under the hood, because I'm running a V6 in an EF Civic. You know, run a V6 in an EF, they said. It'd be fun, they said. Actually,
It is fun.
Actually, nobody said that, but it is fun. I guess I just said that then. But yeah, so we're going to get cracking on this. We're going to start ripping it apart, put it on time lapse.
Cool.
Hey guys, I just want to share this with you real quick. This is the inside of the plenum of that. Now granted, I didn't drive this that much. I drove her quite a few times to work and back, and we took her to the car show, and I two-stepped her a couple times. And then she sat all winter long. Man, she sat for months and months. And the inside of this, the epoxy, it supposedly was fuel resistant, and apparently it's holding up. So I just want to share that with y'all. Got those heads off, wasn't that bad. Took a little time. The exhaust pipes were actually the hardest part. Once we got that going, it was no problem. These cylinder walls are still looking really good. Very little scratches on them. Leave them in there, leave them good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and stuff these cylinders with rags, because I got all kinds of stuff to do in here, and I don't want any crap falling down in those cylinders. But we're getting it knocked out. We're gonna call it for the night. We're gonna get picked up again in the morning. Alright everybody, I just got home from work and Mike's been busy. He went ahead and got my one of my heads all together, and we've already got this one all taken apart right here. Yeah, got all cleaned up. Really basic, simple head. There's not much to it.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah, they're actually mirror images of each other, so you can actually use the left for the right and the right for the left.
Yeah.
They just flip, and you just take this plate and put it over here. So we're about to grab 6 more valves. We're going to do the intake side, get them all lapped up, and put them in. So, had a little bit of an accident. So, I was going to put the front head on right here, and I was trying to set it down and line it up, but I had a butterfinger moment, and I actually dropped the head only like an inch or so, but that was enough. It landed in the perfectly wrong spot. See, the corner of the head landed right there and dented in this crush ring. So, this head gasket is now garbage. Almost landed in the garbage, but it's garbage. So I ordered another one. We are waiting on it. So now we have gotten to work on the fuel system. Since we're waiting on that, got all the old fuel lines here pulled out. And I got some new lines, or I got some new lines put in. This is the new line here. I got the return line hooked up to the regulator already. Those lines are just kind of chilling under here, waiting their turn. We got I can put the return line up now and put it back to the tank. That's not a problem. But the feed line, I have to wait until the engine's back together so I can figure out where the line actually needs to sit so I get the right length on it and everything. So we're waiting on that until that head gasket shows up. We get that all back together. And then got the fuel filter all changed out. Got a -6 line running there to the fuel filter I have right there, that purple and black thing. And then it's going to be -10 from in front of the fuel filter forward. I would like to do a -10 straight from the pump, but I just can't. There's not enough room for it. It's really tight up there, so we're just going to run it like this. That -6 for that short distance be more than enough fuel flow with that Walbro 550 in there. Hopefully that gets up to 1,000 horsepower. That's what we're shooting for. But we're jamming away with this. Kind of hit another stopping point because I'm waiting on some more parts. So we're going to keep jamming. I'm just going to keep this video going. And I'm going to continue it whenever those parts show up. But we're still jamming. She's probably going to make it to the track, hopefully at least once before PFI Speed Fest, so we can get some good testing on this. And then, while I was waiting, my clutch slipper decided it was going to show up. So I got that guy all installed. Just put some threaded inserts in the firewall here, intercepted the clutch line, and then I got this line going back to right here. Which, kind of glad I put that junction right there back when I was building the car. Because I didn't have to do the entire clutch line just literally from here to here. It was kind of nice. So, but that hopefully get my 60 foots a lot more consistent, or at least just better, period. I also need to get a staging brake. I don't know if I'm going to make that happen before I get to the racetrack. I'm just gonna have to do the whole parking brake trick, you know. Just gotta be quick with the hands. We got the valves on the heads here. They're looking nice and pretty. These valves are like 0.5 millimeter or so longer than stock valves because they're just all poking out a little bit as soon as we tighten down the valve train on them. So I just think they're a little bit taller, so the adjustment's really far out. We're just going to have to back out the adjusters a whole lot, but that's all right. Yeah, right. All right, everybody. So took a little break there, but we're back, and we've been still waiting on a head gasket. Kind of sucks, but I did order it today. Got 2 days shipping on it. It's Friday, so it's not going to be on the way till Monday, so it should be here Wednesday. And but while we were waiting on the head gasket, we got a whole bunch of other little things done on this car. So I've got an oil catch can inside the car here. We got lines, AN10 lines here, running to it from some bulkhead fittings right here, and these are going to run to the valve covers so that we can vent out the crankcase pressure. And that, I'm going to cap off one of those holes there, and the other one I'm going to put a really big vinyl hose on, and I 3D printed these brackets right here that we can tie this thing to the roll cage, so this hose can go all the way up, over, and out the back. And I also got a piece on the back there with a big old giant hose barb on it, and that will be where the oil catch can vents out, is back there. And so since we're still waiting on the head gaskets, we got a little carried away with doing stuff, and yeah, we did a thing. Yep.
There's a weight plate.
Yeah, that's a weight plate right there. It's a 150-pound weight plate that we got. We just went down to Western Steel with a template, and they laser cut it out for us. Still had to do quite a bit of grinding to make it fit exactly with my front bumper, because my front bumper is not perfect, so we all know that. But yeah, then just had to weld up some of these braces right here, and now we got it all covered up and everything pulled back, because we're getting ready to paint this guy right here.
You can see there's some old paint that needs some touch-ups.
Yeah. And to mount the intercooler, we just got rid of the whole crash bar and everything. Just no point in it anymore. It was kind of more in the way than anything. And what I did is I welded some tabs over here on the bottom of the intercooler. And then also drilled some holes in the intercooler and threaded those guys, so now we can just bolt everything.
In the weight plate.
Yeah. Drilled some holes in the weight plate, and now we can just put the bolts through into that, and you know, it's solid. So yeah, made a lot of progress. We've been, you know, waiting, so
Got a lot done.
Yeah, but we're getting ready to start painting this. I'm gonna start a time lapse again, and you guys enjoy the music. Alright, everybody, got that all painted up. So, I wrapped this up really good in paper, like really good. I wanted to make sure not one drop of that bright neon paint got on that black weight plate, just because that will show up really good, and anybody's gonna see it. I didn't even want any overspray dust coming on it, because that might ruin it. But while that was drying, I got some stuff going on here. Been working on the PCV system. We got the hose back here. I 3D printed these brackets a while back to get them to attach. Now I just got to run this hose all the way up along the cage back there and then back down, and that'll be my PCV vent for the oil catch can. Alright guys, check it out. Got that all done. We got this hose going from outside the back of the car all the way back up through here and then down to the oil catch can here. I was wanting to actually do it on this side of the roll cage bar, but I just couldn't get it to bend, this hose to bend around the way I wanted to, so I just did it on the inside of the bar here. Got to tighten some of these down still a little bit. Also took the all the tape and everything off the front end, and it looks awesome. Too bad no one's ever going to see it because it's going to be underneath the bumper. But I'm really only painting it to keep it from rusting, so I really don't care what it looks like. There's a couple spots, like when I was taking up the tape, that it kind of peeled up, and the tape left behind a weird residue as well, so I don't know what's going on with that. But I'm fine with it. Just gotta let this sit a few more days, and I can get the intercooler on it, get all the pipes together. Hopefully by then the head gaskets will be here, and we can start finishing this thing up, because we're just waiting on the head gaskets now. I've gotten so much stuff done, all the little stuff. That's it, and I can't really even do the fuel lines until the head gaskets are on, because I gotta get the intake and everything on, so I can know where to run the lines to. So there's that. So I'm officially at a standstill, and I don't like being at a standstill. So, but that hose looks really nice up in there. That should make for a nice venting on the crankcase. Wasn't having a really problem with crankcase pressure at all, but I just did not like where the oil catch can was, because it was up here up front, because that was the only place I had room for it, and it was just a small oil catch can, really itty bitty guy, and I didn't feel comfortable with that, because if I ran into an issue with the motor or something, where like a piston ring failed, or a piston cracked, or a ring gland cracked, then that could put a lot of pressure in the crankcase, and that could push a bunch of oil into the catch can, which would then spill out in front of my front tires. So that doesn't sound like fun at 150 or so, or over 100 just doesn't sound fun, period. But so that's why going with this guy, because I really had no other place to. I don't need a crankcase or PCV system, as you want to call it, or oil catch can system, as beefy as this. I literally just had nowhere to put one, so I just might as well, let's just make it better since we have to. But yep, so there's all that. And I think that's going to cut it for this video. Thank you all for watching. I know there's not a lot of subscribers, not a lot of people watching, but for those guys who do watch, it's really awesome. Thank you. And if you guys want to put a comment, if you got any suggestions, anything that you think that might be a good idea. I don't know everything, so if you think you got a better idea, if you know, or you do have a better idea, if you've been there before, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Let me know. But, like I said, that's going to do it. You guys have a good one.
Should have blown that box out of heck. Oh my God.